at least that in this one.
A look now at the starting lineups for Duke. It'll be Thornton and Suleiman in the backcourt. Quinn Cooksman in and out of the starting lineup in recent weeks. Hood, Parker, and Jefferson up front for Carolina. Page and McDonald, Tokoto, James Michael McAdoo, and Kennedy Meeks coming off an 11 of 12, 23-point game down in Tallahassee on Monday.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. I think both you would agree the three ball is going to be big. Duke is second in the nation shooting threes, 41%. On the other side, you look at North Carolina. They do a great job, Jay, defending the three. Only allow like 30%.
Underway in Carolina with the first possession. Outstanding officiating crew of Ed Corbett, Brian Kersey, and Pat Driscoll. And an early touch for McAdoo coming off a game in which he fouled out only 13 minutes, didn't score. McDonald. And do they need him to knock down shots? Just 2 out of 16 from the field his last 2 games. Carolina strikes first.
That's big because they are really one of the poorest three-point shooting teams in America. Anything they get from the three is big.
The drive by Suleiman, and a travel is the call.
Well, Leslie McDonald starts out this game getting the ball inside, then it was kicked back out by McAdoo. Little pin-in screen by J.P. Tokoto. That screen freed up Leslie McDonald. Then he makes a really good defensive play on the other end, staying in front of Rasheed Suleiman.
Marcus Page, such a huge key in this game. Off to McAdoo, who's been much more aggressive in recent games.
You can see it right there. No doubt in his mind he was going to attack the rim. And as you said, hey, what are the odds of them winning down at Florida State without him scoring a point? They won that game.
And Jay, what a matchup we've got between Parker and McAdoo as Tokoto comes up with a steal and draws the foul. It will be a block on Tyler Thornton.
And what a great play by Tokoto to steal the ball away from Jabari Parker, who was driving McAdoo. That's a key matchup. McAdoo going against Parker. Can one get the other in foul trouble?
That's a good point right there. I think I would play Tokoto on him. In fact, Mike Krzyzewski was raving about Tokoto as a defensive player.
Tokoto with the line right now for Carolina. And this has been a problem for the team in their losses, and for Tokoto individually, just a 47% free throw shooter on the season. A great athlete, an improved jump shooter, and a very good defender.
They have a chance to have the worst free throw shooting in the history of North Carolina, shooting 62%. That could be really an Achilles heel coming down the stretch of this game.
There's Parker. He's had some big games lately, scoring and rebounding. Duke running a weave, handoffs on the perimeter. Hood with a foot inside the line, misses the jumper. And Suleiman with great hustle to get Duke another possession, but then they turn it right over.
They turn it over, and Jay, they normally don't turn the ball over, Duke. They really do a great job getting into their possessions.
And usually after a broken play, Duke is good at finding an open three-point shooter. That time they did turn it over, and on that weave, North Carolina is not switching those exchanges. They are staying with their original assignment.
Duke turned it over only 5 times in a win over Georgia Tech a couple of nights ago. They've already turned it over 3 times tonight. Corner 3. Offensive rebound, Meeks.
There's the offensive rebound, and Jay was talking about him beginning of the show.
And Meeks rejected, but Parker was out of bounds when he made contact with the ball. Back over to the heels.
Meeks coming off that big game you had on Monday against Florida State. I think it was 11 for 12.
He was. He missed his first shot, made his next 11. He was terrific on the glass. Rasheed Suleiman has been guarding Marcus Page. That puts a little size on Page. One thing you cannot do with Marcus Page, you cannot leave him. You should never have to close out to him because you can't leave him at all.
What a tremendous second year he's having.
Meeks going inside again, rejected again. And then we have a foul going against North Carolina. Meeks, a big guy, Jay. He's lost some weight, but still doesn't have a whole lot of lift down there when he makes his moves.
And it's a question as to who he's going to guard all game long. He's been guarding Emil Jefferson, but if he has to switch off on Parker, that is not a good matchup for him.
And that foul, by the way, guys, was on James Michael McAdoo. Keep an eye on that. He's had some foul trouble recently. They need him to score, and they also need him to defend Parker.
I don't think they can win this game without him being a really productive player.
There he is with a rebound.
Well, Duke is making drives without really moving the defense.
Page turns it over. Stolen away by Suleiman. Suleiman driving on to McDonald. And a foul.
I really believe Duke has elevated its game with the arrival of Jefferson, Suleiman, and Dawkins. When they start playing well after those losses, when they had to Notre Dame and Clemson, they became a much deeper team and a team that really, I thought, elevated their game.
I think back to the Michigan game in early December. Rasheed Suleiman at the line right now didn't play a minute.
Right.
Did not play a minute in that game, but he started playing better in practice, started playing better in games, and now once again he's a big part of the team.
Well, Duke's only question marks are really up front. The issue is, can they rebound and defend inside with some of the bigger teams in the country?
And a pair for Suleiman.
They were 28 for 34 on the free throw line in that win over Maryland when they squeaked that baby out, so that free throw line can be big.
Quinn Cook in off the bench with Tyler Thornton having a seat for Duke. Page. Meeks. And the bounce goes to McAdoo. Stepping out of bounds, though, is Page.
Seen a lot of turnovers out here. You think bottom line is a lot of anxiety, a lot of excitement. I mean, you know this. You put the uniform on. You played in this game. What was it like driving over, coming down here to play?
It was a lot more pleasant than when you got here and you actually had to play. North Carolina's really good.
I think one of the things is you have to keep your emotions in check, and I think the players right now are going a little bit too fast on both ends.
Parker, left-handed layup, first field goal of the night for Duke.
What a big-time play that was. Using the left hand, protecting the basketball.
Meeks with good deep position, banging with Jefferson. Jefferson got some help. Meeks can't finish. Ball still loose. Here come the Blue Devils with numbers. Cook. And Carolina controls.
Well, that was a pretty good box out by Leslie McDonald. He was going 1-on-2 and came away with the ball.
Trying to get the ball screen up on top for Page.
And a Duke foul going against Jefferson.
Just got him when he tried to split the screen. He tripped him. But Parker catches the ball, isolates it just off the elbow. McAdoo picked up that foul. He's fouled out of his last 2 games. Doesn't want to pick up another one. You got to show some early help there. Jabari Parker's going to go right around you.
You know, Jay, I'd put Tokono on him. I would not take a chance of McAdoo playing him. And I'll tell you this, there are a lot of great freshmen, and I respect them all. But to me, this is the best freshman in America. I don't think there's any doubt in my mind when you look at his multi-talent, his versatility.
Bryce Johnson just into the game, called for the offensive foul.
They need some scoring out of Johnson, and he's been productive off the bench and block shots as well.
How good is this rivalry? How close has this rivalry been? You go back over the last 86 games, including tonight. Carolina's won once more, and they've scored exactly the same number of points.
That's pretty even. That's pretty even. That's not bad.
Roy Williams as Carolina coach, 9-12 against Duke. Mike Krzyzewski as Duke coach, 39-37 against Carolina.
They get over the Mendoza line. So far, they're doing a good job guarding the perimeter. Duke has not made a 3 thus far.
Andre Dawkins in. He can make a 3. Marshall Plumlee in as well for Duke.
They got the double high post. As that weave. A lot of teams like to switch on that. Jump switch.
Screen by Plumlee. Cook off to Hood. And a Duke turnover. A lot of turnovers in the early going. Carolina's up 2.
His mission this evening is to handle Duke's pressure and get into the driving lanes. He said he has to play at his tempo and use smart shot selection. And he needs to set the tone defensively. He also needs to start hitting a few because he feeds off seeing the ball go in.
And another, thank you, Janine, another Carolina foul. That's another one on Johnson, who's been in the game only for a few seconds, Jay, and he's already picked up 2 fouls.
I think Bryce Johnson was surprised that Marshall Plumlee came out and really pressured him that far out on the floor. North Carolina big guys are not used to that, and Plumlee was able to knock it away.
Roy Williams is going to have to go deeper into his bench. Desmond Hubert has come to the scorer's table. For Rodney Hood.
Great lob over the top. What a player Hood has been. You talk about versatility, shooting the 3, attacking the rim, defending, rebounding. He's been as good as any player in the ACC.
And he did a really nice job of working off Jabari Parker on the left wing. They raised up and lifted North Carolina a bit, and he came off that little back screen, and McAdoo tried to get the ball on the pass rather than stepping in and trying to stop the cutter.
The foul on Jabari Parker, his first. Hubert into the game for Johnson as McDonald knocks another one down.
That's big. If McDonald starts making shots, he's only been shooting like 29% from the three-point range. Came in with a big reputation as a long-range shooter. You got to make shots, man. You can take all the defense you want. If you don't make shots, you got no shot.
McAdoo and Parker continuing to guard one another. Each of them has one foul 5 minutes in. Hood, nice shot.
What a great head fake. What a versatile player he's been, Jay. He's been such an asset to them.
He's got such great shot credibility that Tokido went for that shot fake.
Hood is in the top 10 of the ACC in field goal percentage, three-point percentage, and free throw percentage.
You notice Quinn Cook has not left Marcus Page. When he passed it off, didn't help off. He stayed right with him.
Smart. That's good coaching. I think the guy on the sideline knows a little about basketball. What's his name? Krzyzewski?
Both of these guys, Hall of Famers. And well, that's a great move by Rodney Hood. And I agree with you, Dick. He's had a remarkable year. He's not played his best over the last few games offensively, but he always seems to take the opponent's best perimeter player. He's an excellent defender, and his numbers have been terrific from shooting.
Jabari Parker to the bench. Emil Jefferson returns for Duke.
Plumlee out there to lay screens, give him a little wide body inside. There he is. He lays those big screens.
Hood's feeling it and knocks another one down, and this one's a three.
He can do it all, man. He can flat out do it all. I don't think he gets the kind of recognition because of Jabari Parker, but he's a big-time player.
It's an 11-2 run for Duke, and J.P. Tokido will put an end to that.
That's a positive. He starts making shots from out there. Great athlete, explosive.
One thing that Mike Krzyzewski likes to do when he's got a hot player is to keep going to him.
Did he go to you a lot when you played?
Heck, I said hot player, not bad player.
You were a blender, man. You're one of my all-time blenders.
An unplugged-in blender.
There's Cook with a drive. Nice pass to the cutting Jefferson. Hubert with a rejection, but Duke still has it with 10 to shoot. Cook for three, one of the best three-point shooting teams in America.
They have so many weapons from the three. Cook's been a little bit up and down, Jay. He hasn't been that consistent player that they've really expected.
And that last play was essentially the equivalent of an offensive rebound, which is the best time to shoot a three. Because North Carolina was thinking about, after that block shot, was thinking about taking it the other way, not about defending. And Duke was able to take advantage of that and get to the three-point line.
Nate Britt into the game, McDonald out, so Page effectively moves to the two. How does that change things for Carolina?
Well, he's a better three-point shooter from the two position. He'll be able to hunt his shot.
But really what you have to do is pressure Nate Britt.
Boy, Carolina fortunate to retain possession there.
Page shooting 47% and 48% from the three in the last 7 games that Janine was talking about. What a player he's been in that 7-game winning streak. That's a carry.
A carry on Britt.
Can't get away with that, man. I could see that. One eye, I could see that carry.
But see, that's where the pressure came in. I think Duke is trying to put pressure on Nate Britt to make him think about playing playing his man rather than running the play. They essentially took him out of running his play.
Yeah, good point right there. No doubt about it. He's a guy you want to attack. Kid came in with a lot of pressure, had to be inserted at that point guard. The start of the season, and have McDonald. I think
back in for Duke. Plumlee to the bench. Suleiman guarded by Page. Jefferson not an outside shooter. The handoff now.
Got a switch.
Hood having some kind of a night.
He's been the star of stars, man. He's been the flat-out PTP. Driving, shooting threes, mid-range jumpers.
McAdoo's got a chance for a three-point play.
He had 17 straight games in double figures before he went Zippo against Florida State.
And he doesn't run the court, Dick. He sprints it. He changes ends really well. And even after a made field goal.
Only a big break for Duke. A big break. He gets in foul trouble. It changes the whole complexion of the Duke team. They're very limited on that baseline.
Well, Duke on the other end, Rodney Hood did a great job getting a switch, getting Desmond Hubert on him, and he really did a nice job of taking advantage of it.
There's that free throw line, guys. We can talk all the basketball we want, analyze, took ball screens, all of it. You got to make free throws. You're going to win a game like this, you got to make free throws.
McAdoo's is 53% on the season, and he's been so much more aggressive lately, Jay. He's getting to the line a lot. He's just not making enough of it.
And it's a mental thing because he didn't struggle from the line like this in high school.
Hood with 9 points already. Look at this move on Tokoto.
Oh,
look at that move.
Hey, what a great thing. Hey, he's a pro, Jay. There's no doubt about it.
Well, it's really not very complicated what they're doing. Just a little handoff and drive. Rodney Hood taking Tokoto one-on-one.
And Tokoto misses the jumper, but the follow, and a foul for Desmond Hubert.
What a great offensive rebound. Talked about it on the top of the show, Mr. Billis. That is the key. That's where they have the edge on Duke. Their winner's edge has to come on the glass. Here goes Hubert. Watch this right now. There's the offensive rebound. Nobody blocks out on him. He gets the open lane to the goal. Jam.
And that foul is on Rodney Hood, and that is his second. So we talked about how critical it is that Parker not get in foul trouble. Hood's been the best player of the game so far, Jay, and now he's sitting down with 2.
And Desmond Hubert sets a little screen. Nobody picks him up. He had exactly the same kind of finish against Florida State.
Another brick at the line. They're 1 for 4.
It's Brick City, USA. How's this? I just looked it up. There was 77 and 160 in the games they lost. The 7 games, I mean, that's under 50% on free throw line. That's a joke.
Well, they're not all of a sudden going to become a really good free throw shooting team. They have to keep doing the other things that give them a chance to win.
Brick doing a nice job keeping the ball out of Cook's hands, so Parker has to make a play himself. And Hubert made a play. Desmond Hubert giving Carolina good minutes. McAdoo from 17. Rebound Fulton.
He was running away before he squared his body and got into his shot.
It's like he hesitated and thought about it before he took the shot instead of just stepping right into it. But what a block by Desmond Hubert.
Quality minutes, as Dan said, coming off the bench, giving him really quality minutes.
Known much more for his defense than his offense. Forces Jefferson to give it up. Thornton got it back.
They're making Duke drive with the basketball. They're not allowing him to square up and shoot the 3.
And a foul on Nate Britt. Not a popular call here at the Smith Center. What was popular, a couple of plays made by Desmond Hubert, who only plays sparingly for Carolina. A resounding 2 at one end, and just as impressive a rejection at the other end for the Heels.
Have you ever noticed how in Hollywood movies all the villains are played by Brits?
At the scoreboard, they're going to play the scoreboard in terms of determining how many minutes he'll get here in the first half. But his versatility has really been impressive.
Hey, let's check it now with Janine.
Well, guys, Rodney Hood has looked very comfortable so far in this game. And several times during yesterday's practice, Roy Williams stressed over and over, do not let Duke's shooters be comfortable. He wants his guys up in their faces, being aggressive, doing everything they can to make it difficult for them. And so far, Rodney, other than his fouls, has pretty much had things his own way.
Tell you one thing, boy, you can feel the electricity here. There's rivalries, Alabama, Auburn football, I respect, Michigan, Ohio State football, but there's nothing when you look at longevity, what this rivalry's been. It's unbelievable to sit here year in and year out and watch it.
Parker, line drive 3, no. Rebound McAdoo. This is the 237th all-time meeting. Carolina leads 132-104, but Duke has won 7 of the last 9.
You know, Parker takes that jump shot, Jay. That's when he went a little bit of a slump. Jeff Capel worked with him to be aggressive, and he's become much more aggressive and not really utilize the jump shot as often.
Yeah, I think that would be the shot that North Carolina would want Jabari Parker to take in that situation.
Another near turnover, deflected out of bounds by Cook, so it stays with Carolina with 11 to shoot. As mentioned, this rivalry's been going on a long time, almost 100 years right now. 132-104 Carolina. Duke controlling recently at 137 consecutive meetings when at least one of the 2 schools has been ranked.
Well, they got a little regional going on. They got here Thursday, they got Carolina, and then Saturday they got Syracuse.
Page with his first field goal attempt of the game. Bounces out to McDonald, who beats the shot clock.
He's feeling good. He's got good rotation on his shot. He's been a struggling guy shooting the ball, but not tonight.
There's also great awareness by McDonald to get that shot up, and Marcus Paige has not been able to breathe in this game. That was his first shot attempt.
Jefferson to Suleiman. Now back to Cook.
Tell you one thing about Marcus Paige, though. He's a great second-half player. 10 games, he had 4 or less points in the first half. He went bananas the second half.
He's playing some good defense there on Cook. Forced him into a tough shot.
Well, he's a great second-half player. He's a great player, period.
And a tough player.
He's just a player. He's not a 1, not a 2, as Roy Williams told us. He's a player.
Well, McDonald taking a shot knowing he's feeling good. Missed that one. And there's Meeks finally rewarded for his hard work on the interior.
And there's the offensive voice. There's the edge. We talked about them having a winning edge on the glass. They're taking advantage of it. Meeks is a real wide-body, strong kid.
Just a freshman. More subs. Bryce Johnson back in with 2 fouls. Plumlee Dawkins returned for Duke. Great atmosphere here in Carolina. This game rescheduled from 8 days ago. Rodney Hood with 11, but with 2 fouls remains on the bench. For a lot of years, they took some heat here for not being a very vocal fan base. Those days are gone. Meeks called for the foul.
North Carolina got a foul there, but they were actually very fortunate because Isaiah Hicks went underneath that handoff, essentially that screen, and gave Andre Dawkins a wide open shot. He doesn't miss many of those. You have got to chase him off that line. You can't go under screens or exchanges.
You got to go to second man, third on Roche. You can't go fourth behind him. I'll tell you this, though. Here's a little number interesting. Dawkins, they're 40-3 in 43 games if he scores 10 points or more.
He's the leading three-point shooter in the ACC at 47%. Suleiman, tough shot over McDonald, who might have gotten a piece of it.
I don't think Mike Krzyzewski would be happy, Jay, with that possession. 1-on-1, bounced the ball, kept it too long.
Carolina leads.
Attacking the inside, Jay, attacking the inside.
.6-0 run for the Tar Heels. Dawkins with a rare drive, and he bounces in a tough shot.
Talk about tough. That was real tough. Little Hail Mary time, a little praying on that baby.
And we are tied again. Rodney Hood at the scores table getting ready to check in. Duke comes up with a steal. Dawkins driving again. Count it, and 1.
2 big plays in a very unique way for Dawkins, not shooting the 3, attacking the rim.
And set up by a great steal by Quinn Cook. When Marcus Paige was looking to get the ball inside, Cook stole it, and the three-point shooter's become a driver in this one.
Life, the ALS disease, and they really played with such heart and guts. They were down 13, came back, won that game. But let me ask Jimmy Bam. I know he's watching tonight, and he's down a little bit. He's thinking about what he has in front of him when he talked about going to Maryland Monday after Duke. Bottom line, Jimmy B, I ask you this. If somebody said you'd be 25-1 approaching March, I think you would have taken it.
Got a Jim Boeheim interview coming up for you at halftime of this game tonight. McDonald over Plumlee, gets the bounce.
He's really been very good here tonight, Jay. Shooting the jump shot as well as right there, showing him posting up inside.
This is as well as he's played since they played NC State. He had 20 points in that one.
He has 11. Hood with the ball has returned with 2 fouls. He has 11.
See, they played the scoreboard. They saw a little run. They figured we got to get him on the floor right now.
If Hood is going to drive, a charge on him is a gigantic play.
Parker dumps it down. Plumlee will finish.
I tell you, Plumlee getting minutes, but what a great look by Parker. Kid came out of Chicago, big reputation, and he has lived up to all the hype.
McAdoo getting set to check back in for the Tar Heels.
But Cook is staying right with Marcus Paige and is switching off on the exchange. Now Hood on him.
And he's switching right there. Look at a big guy coming after him, challenging. Love seeing the kid getting the most out of his ability. Plumlee hustling.
Another Carolina turnover.
Really sloppy, no rhythm, good defense by Duke.
Their 8th already of the game, and Parker's got a chance for a three-point play.
That's when he's at his best, Jay. When he's attacking, it gets him to the free throw line.
We can score in such a variety of ways, not just in the half court, not just in the post or driving in half court situations, but he's excellent in transition. That time getting the pass ahead. But oftentimes he'll grab a defensive rebound and take it himself where he's really a threat.
3rd foul on Bryce Johnson.
That's big because he's so productive, usually scoring. When you talk about Parker, he could be the first player at Duke to lead the team in rebounding and scoring as a freshman.
Isaiah Hicks.
Nobody came over, Jay, to close off the driving angle. They allowed him to get right to the rim, and nobody shut off that angle to the basket.
Well, I don't think they saw him as a threat, but he just proved that he is. He's going to be a really good player.
So Hubert's contributed. Hicks has contributed. McDonald's having a big game. Another long jumper won't go for Parker.
See, they'll allow him to do that, as you said earlier. They will definitely allow him to shoot that jump shot.
Well, that was a bad shot. Over the last 9 or 10 games, he hasn't taken many of those, but that was a bad shot.
And McDonald driving. We have a whistle and a foul thrown against Duke. Boy, McDonald has been good. Remember, they were without McDonald and Hairston. Hoped to get both of them back. McDonald missed 9 games. Hairston never came back. Now he's tearing it up in the D-League right now. And McDonald really has not shot the ball nearly as well as Roy Williams would have hoped. But he looks like a star here tonight.
I'll tell you one thing, going to one-on-one right now, but the bottom line is, we talked about it with Roy. I think mentally this team got a little bit more solid when everything was finally decided and Hairston was gone. Bottom line is they were in an unbelievable situation. They didn't know where to go. Is he going to be eligible? He's not going to be eligible. I think now they know where he's set.
Carolina's now 1 for 5 from the free throw line. Nice shot fake by Dawkins. Hicks does a nice job to stay with him.
Well, Hicks has some length that can bother a shooter.
Cook. And Tyler Thornton called for the foul.
Thornton's really been playing well for them. Played exceptionally well against Georgia Tech. Made a big play against Maryland at the end of the game. Tipping the ball. Catching the ball was tipped by him to Jefferson. Last play of the game.
Well, and he made 3 amazing threes against Syracuse. 3 in a row that really changed that game and brought Duke back to get back in it. It looked like they were about to get blown out.
Let me ask you this. We were talking about it before the show. If Syracuse were to beat Duke, will they be number 1?
It's a good question. They could keep it. I mean, you know, last game it was played. It depends on how they play. The last game was played at such a high level. Duke wound up losing the game in overtime and rose like 6 spots in the polls.
Yeah. From 17 to 11.
Yep, 17 to 11 is right.
Wow, another missed free throw. They're 1 for 6, and they've missed the front end of a 1-and-1 each of the last 2 times down the court.
1 for 6. This major college basketball. I mean, this is North Carolina, and we're talking the elite.
Well, it also puts you in a position, if you have a lead late in the game, of opponents to play hack-a-heel.
Yeah, right. Hack-a-heel, I like that. Hack-a-shot, hack-a-heel.
Suleiman gets the bounce on a strong drive, and Duke's lead grows to 5.
He's a great example for a lot of kids out there. He didn't pout and sulk when he was on the pine. He just kept practicing, working, and got him back in the lineup.
McAdoo, the miss over Plumlee, rebound Dawkins. Here come the Blue Devils.
Really impressed with the job North Carolina's done to contain the 3-ball. I believe they've only made 1. Am I right? 1 3 so far. 2 3, says our great stat guy, Mr. Madrid.
Dawkins not there. Duke makes almost 10 threes per game on the season.
And that was not an easy 3. A good look right there. He really shot that too quickly.
Well, coming into this game in ACC play, they've made 132. Their opponents 51. Never seen a spread like that.
Well, they're working the offensive glass, Jay. They're working that offensive glass. And I know as a big guy, that impresses you.
Well, it's just in their DNA. This is a team that has gotten 40% of its misses, one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country. But it's not a good shooting team, and they have to find a way to manufacture points.
Jefferson gets the foul, his second. Hubert at the line for Carolina.
Not even close. I mean, they're not even close. 1 for 7, man. You get sent to the minor leagues in baseball doing that, don't you?
Well, but Desmond Hubert's never been a good free throw shooter. It's the other guys that, across the board having this low of a free throw percentage, they can get demoralizing after a while. But they have made up for it in so many other areas, like tapping the ball back out, which they are very good at.
That Carolina specialty. They get another possession. Page. And now Duke finally gets a chance.
Page finally got an open look. He's been quiet, but remember this. He's an explosive second-half player.
I think they go to Parker here.
He should attack. He should attack. He could have been called for a push-off right there.
McAdoo called for the foul, his second.
They could have had one on Parker pushing off, trying to get post position.
Timeout on the floor. Late first half, visiting Duke up by 5. Northwestern Mutual, and they're usually pretty successful, Jay, when Parker gets a lot of touches.
Well, Jabari Parker had a drive. J.P. Tokoto was able to take it away by coming in and stealing the ball from the corner, coming off the corner man. Duke cleared out that side, let him go one-on-one. He got a score, then passing ahead to him in transition. Then he can go one-on-one against Bryce Johnson, who is not as comfortable guarding on the perimeter as he is inside.
And the Dukies, if they couldn't or didn't get a seat here, they can go to Cameron and watch the game on the video scoreboard there about 8 miles away. Good rebound in traffic by Emile Jefferson.
He's been a big plus for them. He's been very active on the glass. He was terrific in the game against Syracuse. Second opportunities come back to haunt you.
Tokoto trying to stay with Suleiman, who uses the screen, misses the shot. Carolina ball.
Got to back it out, get something in a half-court game.
Britt has played limited minutes here tonight. Tokoto forces it, draws the foul on Suleiman, and will shoot a couple of free throws.
Well, he struggles on the free throw line as well. Here he goes to the line. He had that disastrous game on the free throw line against Belmont when they lost that game.
4 for 16.
That's pretty bad. That's 25%. That's shooting like you, Dan Schumann. I mean, come on.
On a good day.
You're Brick City. I saw you shoot there. Played for Digger. I got the report on you.
They get the bounce. 2 for 9. A little bit later on tonight, more college hoops comes your way. Thursday night showcase presented by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups as Gonzaga takes on a BYU ESPN2 at 11 Eastern.
Two of the top scoring teams in the country. If you haven't seen Tyler Haws of BYU, he is a big-time offensive player.
Also, Pangos can really shoot it for Gonzaga. And they also did a great job in clearing this for us having this game in a makeup situation.
A couple of free throws for Tokoto. 3-point game. Cook, nice find. Jefferson kicks it back out. Dawkins for 3. Cook the rebound.
Can't allow guards to get rebounds like that.
Great cut by Parker, and a good find by Cook.
Two-man play. Parker with the drive. Great look, great movement without the basketball. Second shots, Jay. Second shots. Nobody blocks out. A guard gets the rebound.
McAdoo. Joel James, a 290-pound whirling dervish in there under the basket.
Joel James has such a big body. And what a terrific pass by Quinn Cook, just catching Jabari Parker coming to the rim right out of the corner of his eye.
Yeah, great vision. Great cut down the lane. Movement without the ball. Look at him down to Cameron going bananas. They'll be going wild there Saturday, baby, when Syracuse comes to town.
7 Eastern will have it for you here on ESPN.
Three in a row. They made 3 in a row.
Using a lot of rim and glass to get them, but they're getting them. A lot of big guys get a few minutes here and there, Jay, for Carolina, whether it's James, whether it's Hubert, whether it's Hicks, Simmons we may see at some point as well. Roy Williams uses a lot of different people.
Look pretty good on that free throw.
Made them both. Now to the bench.
That really changes your club psychologically when you got guys can step to the line, because it could be very depressing watching guys miss one after another.
So they started 1 for 8. They've made their last 4.
Let's see if Duke goes to Parker.
Cook will find him, and Parker will finish.
I'll tell you one thing, Cook's penetration has created opportunities for Parker.
Well, Parker's got Jackson Simmons on him. And I think that's a matchup that he would like to exploit.
Tokido, and it's out of bounds. It'll stay with Carolina.
Look at that penetration. Great penetration by Cook. Tremendous job. Great vision to find the open guy, Parker. I think many of us who critique freshman Drew. I think I read a quote by you, which is a great quote about Randall down in Kentucky. Guys averaging like, I don't know, 12, 14 a game. And you said, gee, that's great numbers for a kid. And yet people want to scrutinize and evaluate the Wiggins, the Randalls, the Parkers every time they make a mistake. I think we're too much in a hurry. We don't give these kids a chance to grow up. Look at Page, a different player this year as a sophomore.
Parker taking advantage of Simmons again.
He is absolutely a great player when he's driving to the basket. That is his strength, and that'll open up for the medium-range jump shot.
What North Carolina needs to do is be more efficient on offense. They're not just going to shut somebody out. They've got to get scores, and they are not doing that right now.
Roy Williams didn't like that shot. A 15-footer by Kennedy Meeks.
I think they go back to Parker again.
Why not? Why not? You go to the hot player. They can't handle him one-on-one. This is a mismatch.
He got a little help, though.
You got some help right there.
Parker's still down.
Oh, he got bumped.
And Britt does draw the foul. Double bonus for Carolina. Parker.
They try to have an M&M there. A mismatch. Parker against Simmons. So he's driving to the goal. He's so strong, but they got help. Defense came over. Gave him some good help.
And the foul at this end of the court, guys, it was drawn by Britt, was on Emil Jefferson, his third. He's become a very important player for Duke in the last 6-8 weeks. Has really raised his play in conference.
He's gotten in foul trouble in games, too. Went to the bench. And a game against Syracuse, he and Parker.
Well, one thing that Emil Jefferson has done, he has rebounded really well on both ends of the floor. His 15 rebounds against Virginia were the difference in the game. He made a lot of winning plays in that game, especially that offensive rebound, kicked it to Suleiman at the end.
So he's on the bench with 3. Bryce Johnson's got 3. Hasn't played very much for Carolina. All of a sudden, the Tar Heels are making free throws, and they're back within 5.
Hey, one thing, they're going to have size next year when Mr. Okafor comes to town from out of the Windy City.
Strong drive by Cook.
They're just beating him off the bounce, one-on-one, getting to the lane, nobody rotating over.
Also gives him a 2-for-1.
Now with 40 seconds left in the half. Britt rejected by Parker. And a timeout taken by Mike Krzyzewski. Just a second between the game clock and the shot clock, so they can, in effect, hold for the last shot of the half. A quick timeout here in Chapel Hill. Duke up by 7.
They'd be #1 if they beat Duke. I think Florida's in their hands. I think if Florida goes out and beats Mississippi at Mississippi, they'll be #1.
Holding for the last shot.
Duke's going to want to take it with about 4 seconds left to give themselves a chance for an offensive rebound, but not to give North Carolina enough time to take it the other way.
Spreading the court. I got to believe they're going to flash Parker and get Parker one-on-one against Meeks. I think they're going to get the ball to Parker off the screen, step out.
Thornton forces it, and the first half comes to a close on that note. The Duke Blue Devils, led by Rodney Hood, Jabari Parker, each of whom are in double figures. Leslie McDonald, the high scorer for Carolina, with 11. Duke leading by 7. Janine Edwards is with Duke associate head coach Steve Wojciechowski.
Steve, what have you guys been able to do offensively that's made the biggest difference so far?
Well, I think we've gotten some good penetration. Quinn Cook gave us a huge lift off the bench. They do such a good job of taking away passes that you have to try to break them down on the dribble, and I thought we did that well. You know, they're an outstanding team. It's going to take a 40-minute effort.
Well, what are the biggest adjustments you need to make both defensively and because you now have 4 players and some key guys with a couple of fouls?
Yeah, we're in foul trouble, and they have guys in foul trouble too. We have to keep them out of transition and rebound the basketball.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
All right, Janine, thank you very much. At the half, it's Duke 37, North Carolina 30. When we come back, Reese Davis, Seth Greenberg, Jay Williams deliver the Mazda halftime report.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by T. Rowe Price. understanding the connections of a complex global economy. Invest with
Did not make a field goal in the last 6:13 only, though. Down by 7 as we get ready for the second half. And welcome back. Dan Shulman, Dick Vitale, Jay Billis. Guys, a key for the second half.
Well, I think Page got to have a great second half. He's done that 10 times this year when he struggled early, Jay. They got to get him on the board. He hasn't scored a point.
I think the key is going to be North Carolina doing a better job of guarding the ball, because Duke has scored 26 points in the paint in the first half. They've almost doubled Carolina up. And it's not because they're getting the ball into the post. They're beating North Carolina off the dribble and getting all the way to the rim.
Duke with the first possession of the second half. This is Rodney Hood, who had 11. Jabari Parker had 10. Leslie McDonald leading North Carolina with 11.
Tell you one thing, you're not going to find a better 1-2 combination than Parker and Hood.
Hood the miss, Jefferson the rebound.
He's playing with 3 fouls.
And he knocks it down. Emil Jefferson with his first points of the night.
There's the offensive glass, Jay. Up on the board. Jefferson gives him that dimension.
Largest lead of the game. McDonald driving on Suleiman, and he is fouled before the shot as we check in with Janine Edwards.
Well, guys, Roy Williams said attack, attack, attack offensively is what the Tar Heels need to do in this second half. But he said not out of control. We need to attack within ourselves. He also cannot believe the number of points off of turnovers that Duke has scored on them. Carolina's averaging over 16 points per game off of opponents' turnovers. So as they get a bucket there, he's not happy about that, but he wants them to be way more aggressive on offense.
Leslie McDonald attacking as he's done all night long. He's got 13, and the deficit is down to 7.
Well, he did a great job attacking off that bounce. He took the ball strong to the basket.
Hood guarded by Tokido. Elevates from 18 and misses the shot. Meeks down with a rebound.
Well, Hood settled for a couple jumpers to start this second half. One was an offensive rebound basket by Jefferson.
Page. In and out. McAdoo down with a rebound, and he is fouled. Pat Driscoll just trying to make sure that everybody stays calm. Emotions are running high here in the Dean Dome.
I got a feeling you're going to see Page really become aggressive here in the second half. Looking for his shot.
Well, one of the ways that North Carolina can free him up is by setting some better screens for him, because Duke is not leaving him. Whenever he gets the ball and gives it up, they are not helping at all off of Marcus Page.
That foul's on Tyler Thornton, his third. So he and Jefferson each in the game for Duke right now with 3 fouls. And we have a Carolina timeout early in the second half. Duke leading by 7. In North Carolina over the years, the 237th meeting, Carolina leading 132-104 as Page has his first points of the night.
Oh, yeah, he's going to be aggressive here in the second half. That's been the story of his resume. Great second half player.
Down to 5.
Page got a switch on that, and you give him a little bit of space, and he took advantage of it. He's a tough player.
You know, really impressed me right there, driving to the basket. As you look here graphically with Page.
Has always struggled. This is his 3rd game against Duke. Struggled in both games as a freshman last year. Looking to get on track here in the second half tonight. Parker knocked away. Duke gets it back. Cook into the game for Thornton, who sits down with 3 fouls.
That's a ball that Carolina probably should have come away with. They call it a 50-50 ball. That looked more like 60-40, and they didn't get it.
Cook with a floater high off the glass and good.
I think what really shocks me here tonight, both ends of the floor. We saw it twice with Carolina, Jay. Getting to the rim and nobody rotating over. I don't understand that. Being a guy one-on-one, I could understand, but where's the help? Like right there, they had help.
McAdoo runs down the loose ball. Page. And Meeks is fouled underneath by Jabari Parker.
Meeks should have stayed right on the side where he got that rebound, squared his body to the baseline, and would have converted that offensive rebound, but he tried to go to the reverse.
And Roy Williams getting all over his players about going after loose balls. That happened at Florida State on one occasion that really angered him, and just right there, that was a ball that Kennedy Meeks should have had.
You can see the game that he had at Florida State, 11 for 12. He had 23.7 rebounds, 2 blocks for the freshman. Had a great game earlier this year against Louisville. 13 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists. Jay, what's the upside for Kennedy Meeks, and what does he need to do to get there?
Well, he's got a terrific body, big body. He needs to get in better shape, better condition, tighten everything up. But he needs to be able to run a little bit better. But he's got great hands, and he plays angles really well, and his touch is terrific. He's going to be he's a good player now. He's going to be an outstanding player here at North Carolina.
Yeah, I think he's made the commitment. He was 320 pounds. He's down to 290. He knows he's got to get even better than that, and he will. And I agree with you. You can't teach his touch and his hands and the strength of that body.
Suleiman absorbs the bump from McDonald and knocks it down. That's a big-time matchup tonight between Suleiman and McDonald, who's having a big game for the Heels. Tokoto, nice feed. McAdoo will lay it in.
Great basketball play right there. Cut down the lane, find the open man. That'll bring the crowd up, man. They're getting a little fired up now. Great two-man game.
Timeout, Duke.
Great job in those situations.
That beat Pittsburgh as well. Their only loss to a ranked team was at Syracuse. They were handled rather easily by the Orange. The Carolinas won 7 in a row overall. Rodney Hood picking up where he left off in the first half.
I'll tell you one thing, the three will give you that Uncle Mo momentum, and they can shoot it. Second in the nation to play.
Page with another drive.
He has really got the look of a scorer's mentality here in the second half. We didn't see that. Now, I know they played him tough, and they didn't give him enough help with screens, but he's a lot more aggressive right here in the second half.
Well, they've been very successful with that two-man game with he and James Michael McAdoo. That puts a lot of pressure on the defense. McAdoo's an excellent slasher off those screens. He can slip them.
Oh, he stepped right into the lane. Almost had that for a steal.
Hood retains possession. Shot clock inside 10. Cook asking for a screen.
He's getting one, too, but he went the other way from the screen.
Oh, knocks down the three.
He's been an up-and-down player. Had a bad game, then he comes back with a great game. Had a great game against Boston College, bad game against Maryland.
Well, that was well defended. Now he gets the steal coming from behind.
He's a key player, no doubt about it.
But that was so well defended, he just made a brilliant shot.
Cook, offensive foul.
Yeah, flying in the lane, that's a no-no up in the air.
McAdoo draws the charge. Timeout on the floor. The Duke Blue Devils, known as one of the best three-point shooting teams in the country, went just 2 for 9 in the first half, but they have started to knock them down here in the second half. Rodney Hood has one, and then Quinn Cook followed up moments later. 2 threes recently for Duke to extend the lead to 9.
Page, whenever he gives up the ball, they do not leave him. They stay with him. That opens up a drive for North Carolina. Even when they drive, there's no help off of Marcus Page, period. Now, when Page has had success, he's gotten a screen. A ball screen. This is on an out-of-bounds play. Duke just falls asleep, lets him catch it, and they're playing so far off him. He could have gotten a three, but instead he's able to drive with that much space and get to the rim. They've had some success using James Michael McAdoo in a two-man game with him to set a ball screen. But Duke is not leaving Marcus Page.
They're down 9 right now, and they have a chance to win. They got to get him really going, Page. He's the only really threat. Maybe he can throw it also McDonald to make a three. I mean, those two guys account for all their threes, basically.
Duke leading by 9. Parker driving right into the chest of McAdoo, and it's an 11-point lead for the Blue Devils.
He really does a great job. Oh, slow getting back defensively. Good second effort, though, on the defensive end. Should have had a layup right there.
Parker comes up with a block from behind. Meeks with a nice outlet pass. McDonald lays it in.
Tell you one thing, Meeks has a great outlet pass. I love the way he outlets the ball. Years ago, reminds me so much of a guy that was a superstar in Louisville, Wesley Unseld. Oh, they're going to go zone.
It's their point zone. The big guys have to cover the corners, so the corners will be open in this.
Put the drive on the baseline. Draws the foul. No, it's an offensive foul on Hood. That's the second charge that McAdoo has taken here in the second half, and it's the third foul on Rodney Hood.
Well, he's got to go to the sideline. That's a big break right there. I'll tell you one thing, though, they really drive the basket. Good job by North Carolina rotating over, picking up that charge, James Michael McAdoo. They got to get a run. The crowd wants it. Guys all fired up.
Well, James Michael McAdoo is not afraid to put his body on the line against Florida State, even though he had 3 fouls, tried to take a charge. Probably wasn't the smartest play that he made because it put it at risk for his 4th when he did get that. But he's not afraid to put his body on.
Tokido, nice little bounce pass inside, and Bryce Johnson, who has played sparingly because of foul trouble, draws a foul.
Well, that looked more like a jump ball than a foul.
Plumlee is called for the foul.
Well, Bryce Johnson went up and really didn't come close to trying to complete that play. Came down with the ball in his hands. I thought they were going to call a jump ball.
You can see North Carolina, a brutal start at the free throw line, 1 for 8, but then now since then they have made 8 in a row. Roy Williams' glasses are fogging up in the heat and the intensity here at the Dean Dome. And what are we checking on here? Who the foul was on? Who should be shooting free throws?
I think they're checking on who the foul was on.
And when Bryce Johnson gets the ball here, that was not a foul. He came down with that ball. I thought at worst that was a jump ball. There was no foul there.
Plumlee does get whistled for his 3rd, and Johnson will get a couple of free throws. Johnson, a guy, very efficient scorer. Better than 10 points per game in just 20 minutes per game. But a guy tonight who just knocked down his first point. They need offense from him.
Well, they're going to get offense from Johnson and from Page. I mean, no doubt about it, to beat Duke, they're going to have points on the board because Duke's going to score. They're the leading scoring team in the ACC.
Well, Duke's been able to spread North Carolina out. They've got to continue to drive the ball.
And McAdoo is called for the foul. Trying to run down the loose ball. That'll be his 3rd.
That's silly right there. Getting a foul in that situation, 90 feet from the goal. You're too important to your team. It's okay to hustle, but I got a little push off. Wow.
That's just 2 guys going after the ball. Neither player fouled the other.
Yeah, exactly. You don't call, right? You don't blow the whistle on that play. As that zone, they to size up at the point of it.
I think you have to go to the corners here. That's where the big guys have to cover.
Suleiman from the wing misses the 3 long. Plumlee down with a rebound and went up strong to draw the foul.
Yeah, one thing, he's really improved from the kid I saw earlier this year. He has really improved as a player. He's starting to get into the rotation, give him another body.
Well, he's a great athlete, and Marshall Plumlee can really run.
I mean, that was a terrific rebound right there.
He's not Miles. He's not Mason. I don't know, Jay, that you'll ever see a big guy hedge harder on screens and with more enthusiasm than Marshall Plumlee.
He's a mobile big guy, but he's a true center. I'm not sure that his brothers were necessarily true centers.
He's not Mason. He's not Miles, but he's Marshall. He's Marshall.
And in conference play, getting 8-10 minutes a night, contributing more than he did earlier in the season.
I think as the year goes on, he may even get more because he's really active out there. Plays a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of excitement. The 3 E's of life, Mr. Shulman.
1 of 2 for Plumlee. Johnson down with a rebound.
They're going to get some screens, Jay, out here for Page. Too much one-on-one. Got to get some help.
Hubert, not a scorer, kicks it to Tokido. Spin. Up and under and in.
That was a big-time move. One-on-one, the spin. Showed his athleticism. He's a great athlete, Joe.
Cook. Page might have gotten a piece.
I got a little open nose coming to the side of the Tar Heels.
Well, that was a stop that North Carolina needed. And now they have to get a score to validate it.
Johnson. Too strong off the glass.
What a rebound by Plumlee. He has given him valuable minutes. He really is. He's not just a guy space eater. He's active. Watch him lay a screen here. A lot of enthusiasm when he lays that screen. I like what you call that, Dan.
Jefferson the screen for Hood.
The little man screen. He loves laying those screens.
Ooh, and Tokido is called for the foul. Number 2.
J.P. Tokido going one-on-one against Rodney Hood. The help just a little bit late getting there. And you mentioned it, Dick. He is a tremendous athlete.
Great reverse English, too, to get that ball to go in.
Suleiman. Plumlee.
Look at Plumlee working. Man, you got to respect that. As a kid was sitting on a pine all year.
What a job by Duke on the offensive glass.
And that's the edge we gave to North Carolina. But I'm going to tell you, that edge offensively on the glass, Plumlee's so active there.
Well, when Bryce Johnson went to block the shot, that opened up the offensive glass, and Plumlee took advantage of it.
Jay, you got to respect any kid that plays that hard. And that becomes contagious to everyone.
And offensive rebounding, Jay, that's been a much bigger part of the story as Johnson sits down with his fourth. Offensive rebounding's been a much bigger part of the story for Duke recently. They had a game at Florida State at 22 offensive rebounds.
Well, because they can spread the floor, that gives them an opportunity to get to the glass and makes them a little more difficult to block out, especially their wings.
The lead is 8.
There's a screen up there for Page.
McDonald, air ball. McAdoo.
Good offensive rebound by McAdoo coming up with that air ball, getting the score. They have only 2 real threats to shoot a three, Page and McDonald. And McDonald shoots at 28%.
North Carolina staying with that point zone. Duke looking to ball screen it.
Going to flash somebody to the high post, wide open, that 3-second area, right by the ACC.
Hood for 3. And McDonald throws it away. He and Page exchanging glances with one another. Momentum still appears to be on the side of Carolina, but a critical turnover here with 11:37 to go in the half. Great programs, Hall of Fame coaches, emotion all over the place. Austin Rivers, these two programs, of course, have dominated the ACC over the years, combining for so many regular season tournament titles, Final Fours, national championships, you name it.
29 of those by North Carolina, 19 by Duke. There's the 1-3 difference, 1-3-1 now.
It is 1-3-1.
Yep, 1-3-1 zone. Very active. We're going to bounce it out of it.
Well, they've got to attack the baseline. Marcus Page is on the baseline.
I'm surprised more teams don't zone a little bit as part of their arsenal.
Hood misses the 3. Duke right now 4 for 15 from three-point range.
I'm not sure against that defense you want to settle for a 3.
McAdoo. Tokoto with the offensive rebound, has it taken away. Suleiman is tripped by Hubert. Hubert the foul, and Suleiman needs to be helped up as we check it again with Janine.
Well, guys, that is another Carolina turnover. That is 12. And Duke has 18 points off of that turnovers. I can tell you that does not sit well with Roy Williams. Even one turnover. At practice yesterday, when somebody turned the ball over, the entire team had to run sprints, many sprints, as he yelled, the ball means something. It is never okay to turn it over. You can imagine what he is thinking tonight, guys.
And Duke historically, guys, has been a team that turns turnovers into points just about as well as anybody.
Well, Quinn Cook has forced that turnover. That was a great steal he made. He has had a really good game. That's his 3rd steal of the game. He's got 4 assists, double-figure points. He's played outstanding basketball.
Well, look at Tokoto, though, staying right with him defensively. Open baseline jumper. Jabari Parker, no. Tokoto down with a rebound.
Tokoto really active on the glass.
Hubert off the back of the iron, and McAdoo. Tokoto rather with a slam.
Tokoto up in the sky, man. A skywalker up in blue heaven. Oh, they love it here in Chapel Hill.
Boy, from the defense on the ball to the defensive rebound to running the court and following up with a slam. What a sequence for J.P. Tokoto.
Well, J.P., we talk about his great athletic ability. You've seen it right here. You see the drive to the goal by Hubert, and here comes the offensive rebound. He's a high riser, man. He's an elevator man. He's up and away. Mr. Tokoto, he jumped like Jay Billis did when he played at Duke.
Well, he probably ran a little faster there after he made that pass to Hubert and thought a little better of it when he almost turned it over. But a great play by J.P. Tokoto.
And Carolina not going away. Duke has led by as many as 11 points in this game, but it's down to 4. Jay, what's been the difference in the last few minutes?
Well, North Carolina switched to that 1-3-1, and they've gotten a couple of defensive stops. I think Duke has settled for jump shots. Now, they weren't necessarily bad shots, but I think you'll see Duke try to attack the basket. It looks like North Carolina going back to man-to-man. And Duke has not attacked the basket in a while off the dribble. I think that's where they had their most success.
And if he missed their last 8 shots, I think you'll see them rotate back in the zone. I just think he wants to take them out of the rhythm, changing defenses, not allowing them to get into a flow.
Chocodo on Hood, McAdoo on Jefferson, Hubert on Parker right now.
Got a short clock coming up.
That zone defense was effective in the time they used it.
Cook a beautiful look inside. Jefferson can't finish.
They missed 9 shots in a row now, the Dukies. Here come the Tar Heels, Uncle Mo on their side.
McAdoo. And Hubert's heading to the free throw line.
He's playing hard as well. Coming off the bench, giving him quality PT, playing time.
Third on Parker.
Well, right here, Desmond Hubert, not a great free throw shooter. And especially on the second one, you have to be aware of North Carolina tipping it back. That's one thing that the Tar Heels have always been outstanding at. If they can't get the offensive rebound, they'll just tip it back.
Hubert now 0 for 4 from the line tonight, and none of them have been remotely close.
Must be so frustrating for him. You feel for the kid, you know. It's almost like you don't want to go to the free throw line.
Well, you still want to go to the free throw line just to, if anything, pick up the foul on the opponent. You still want to attack the basket just to pick up fouls.
I mean, for him, for a personal standpoint.
Sure.
As a player, he just really, I think he just doesn't want to go near that line. They got to get the ball in Parker's hands. He hasn't touched the ball recently. They missed their last 9 shots, too.
Suleiman driving on Page, knocked away, got it back. Now Thornton. Cook has gone to the bench for the Blue Devils. Shot clock under 10.
Good hedge right there. Good step out.
Deep one by Hood. Carolina ball.
He shot that from Durham, man. He shot that from Durham. Carolina has Uncle Mo. There's no doubt in my mind. It has swung Carolina's way. Now they're going to capitalize with this possession.
And North Carolina's defense has been excellent. Now they've got to follow it up and get a score.
Rick to Page.
Look at Roy all the way down that sideline, man. He is working the sideline.
Plumlee the foul. His 4th.
Well, Plumlee just didn't go into Desmond Hubert. You got to go meet him. Go meet him right in his chest rather than waiting for him to come to you.
And Hubert is back at the free throw line. Bonus situation now for Carolina. They're a bad free throw shooting team. 62% on the season, 50% tonight. And Hubert is 0 for 5. He's playing great. He's just not making any free throws.
Yeah, he's really playing very active, keeping the ball alive, rebounding. The free throw line, and there's 7 losses. We talked about it earlier. Has been a nightmare. I mean, 77 for 160 and 7 losses, and many of them were close games.
That was for 6.
You're almost rooting for the kid to get one to go down. Really. Feel bad for him.
Parker gets free. Can't finish, and Carolina's got it again.
They're getting opportunities. They got to just make sure they capitalize it or not. Didn't capitalize on the free throw line the last few possessions.
Boy, if Roy Williams wasn't happy with the effort earlier, Jay, he's got to be happy with the intensity from his team now.
His team has played excellent defense, but they haven't rewarded themselves. They put a lot of pressure on their defense by not scoring on the other end.
And by not making free throws.
The last time that an unranked North Carolina team defeated a ranked Duke team was March 9, 2003. And here's some of the names of the Carolina team. It's hard to believe that they were unranked. The likes of Raymond Felton, Rashad McCants. This was the game where the two teams got into it after the game. Matt Doherty at the time, the head coach of North Carolina. The final was North Carolina 82-79. That shot came after the final buzzer. North Carolina won. And there were no friendly handshakes at the end of that game that night.
They were just talking to each other about good restaurants at Chapel Hill after the game, and it got a little out of hand. Instructions got all mixed up.
It happens. Carolina ball down 4. Britt. Got caught too far under the basket. Couldn't bank it in. And here comes Duke. The Blue Devils, this is kind of remarkable for a team as good offensively as they are. They've missed 11 consecutive shots.
A great post position, but they missed Parker down inside.
Suleiman stripped. Numbers for the Tar Heels. No foul call, and it's Duke ball.
Wow, how did they miss that? I don't blame Roy Williams. I don't blame him being upset right there. Hey, Jay, how did they miss that?
It looked like a foul to me.
Wow. I'm glad he didn't compound it with a technical like you saw in the Connecticut game. Let the coach air it out. He had a right to moan and groan on that sideline. Let him moan.
Plumlee into Parker. Knocked away again. Britt did it.
They're getting opportunities at defense, but they're not scoring. Not making shots. You got to make shots, man. You got to make shots.
Well, neither team has finished plays. Although Carolina's defense has been really good, Duke's had some plays around the basket they haven't finished. How long's it been 53-49?
Hood trying to hold off Page. Trying to back him down. Marshall Plumlee with a rebound.
Look at that hustle by Plumlee.
Nobody can buy one.
Well, I'll tell you what, J.P. Tokoto did a really good job there. Usually after an offensive rebound, Duke will get a three. And Tokoto took that away.
Yeah, Suleiman got a tough shot there. Didn't have a good look.
Bryce Johnson, that's his go-to move.
Yeah, he could score. He could score. They got to get him the ball a little bit. He can put points on the board. Oh, this place is rocking, man. It's rocking.
And a reach-in foul on Tokoto to take us to a timeout. 6:37 to go. Carolina back within 2.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. The perfect combination.
Journey to the tourney presented by Sonic. Syracuse coming off its first loss of the season last night against Boston College, and Duke. What a kind of like a Thursday, Saturday simulates almost like a Sweet 16, Elite 8, or Final Four type environment with Duke playing Carolina here tonight. Less than 48 hours later, Dick, they play Syracuse.
Unbelievable. But think about this. Syracuse needs that win if they want to win the ACC regular season championship, because Virginia's up there at 13-1.
Quinn Cook high and soft off the glass to make the lead 4. And let's not forget, Syracuse still goes to Virginia
Absolutely.
to play a game. So there's a lot to be decided still in the ACC.
Well, they're right now in the Cavs' hands. They got 3 out of 4 games at home, where Syracuse has 4 out of 5 on the road.
McAdoo with a tough shot. Johnson is fouled.
Quinn Cook has had a terrific game.
He really has. Like he played against Boston College with 21 points. He's done a great job defensively. There he is with that score. He did a great job, as you said earlier, on Page in that first half.
Just able to turn the corner off that handoff from Rodney Hood. And Nate Britt tried to go over it. He just couldn't keep his body between Quinn Cook and the basket.
A made free throw, and you can hear the reaction that gets, because Carolina's just 11 out of 22 tonight. Page back in for the Tar Heels.
And that is giving away an advantage. This is the first time in a long time that North Carolina hasn't had a free throw advantage against its opponents. Doesn't shoot more, doesn't make more than its opponents.
Well, Johnson converts on that line. Hey, Duke is 4 for 17 shooting the threes. Missed their last 6. I mean, Roy Williams, you know about intensity and emotion. Somebody tell him he's in the Hall of Fame, man. That's what makes him such a winner, fierce competitor. I want to beat you off that dribble, take you one-on-one to the goal.
Hood spins and banks it home. What a finish by Rodney Hood, who's now got 16.
Well, a terrific one-on-one play right there. Just beat him off the bounce.
And a finish through contact.
Oh, they needed that. Oh, they needed that, Jay Billis. They needed that 3. back in the zone. Back in the zone after the three.
Back in their point zone, and Duke will look into the corners.
Hood to the baseline. Kick to a wide open Cook. Got the bounce.
That's when Duke's effective. When they can square their body and get the look at the three-point line, they have so many lethal weapons from the three.
McDonald is fouled on the drive.
Typical intense, emotional battle here between these two.
If North Carolina is going to stay in that point zone, when Duke gets it in the corner, it's not just for a shot. That drive collapsed the defense, and Rodney Hood was able to throw it out to Quinn Cook for that open three.
And that's when they're really effective, when they can get open looks at the three. They got so many guys that can make it. Hey, making some free throws. Key is getting the right guys on the free throw line.
Parker back in for Duke. We've got 4:48 to go. Duke's led by as many as 11. But Carolina's right there with them right now, down 3. Make it 2.
Coming down the last 4 minutes, my friends. Winning time. That charity stripe could be a difference maker.
Here's the 1-3-1.
Yep.
Carolina can trap out of it.
Cook's open. In and out. Still loose. Carolina ball. Tokido shovels it ahead. Johnson the lob. McAdoo, and the game is tied. Down to tie it here in the second half.
What a terrific play right there on the glass. We're going to see McAdoo using that left hand, the strong drive to the goal. He's become a much more aggressive player in the second half of the season.
Well, he's been excellent in ACC play. He may not shoot his free throws well, but everything else he has done very well. A great offensive rebounder. He runs the court extremely well. And he's coming off his worst game of the year. He had a bagel at Florida State. He fouled out.
I had a few bagels when I played, too. You didn't know that, did I? Hey, let me tell you this. You and I were talking off the air. Can you imagine his team with P.J. Hairston? I mean, unbelievable. What's he average on 35 a game in the developmental league? First-round draft choice. He would have made some threes. There's that 1-3-1, Jay.
Let's see if they lob it up near the rim.
Oh.
And Tokido, a little too much contact with Cook. That'll be the 4th on Tokido. So Tokido and Johnson each with 4 for Carolina. Thornton has 4 for Duke. And a bonus now for Duke with Cook heading to the line. Jefferson also has 4 for Duke, but he's on the bench right now. 1-1 for Quinn Cook, who's had a marvelous night. A big miss. McDonald.
He's had a good night. He's had a solid night. There's no doubt Uncle Mo's on their side, Mr. Schumann.
Hood. In and out.
What they're doing against that 1-3-1, going 2-1, going even against odd up on top.
Well, they're not penetrating against it. North Carolina has a chance to stretch this out a little bit. Got a switch with Cook on McAdoo.
Bullet pass inside to McAdoo. And he can't finish. Suleiman down with a rebound. We've got 3 minutes to go in regulation. Duke with the ball down by 2.
They got to get Parker some touches. He has not touched the ball recently.
Carolina,
look at the big guy.
Carolina back to man-to-man.
Switching defenses so often here in recent minutes.
There's that read. And they're not switching out and not jump switching like a left. He's got to get the ball with his kick.
Oh. And Parker called for the offensive foul.
Wow. Remember, he's going for the 5th.
Championships, ACC regular season titles. This place is alive, and the Tar Heels are playing great in the second half.
Well, they're doing a great job defensively. They've done a phenomenal job. Had they made some free throws, Jay, that'd even be a bigger cushion. But the bottom line right now is they got to just make sure they get good shots.
Well, they've done a nice job defensively, and after a timeout, you always worry about Carolina going backdoor, getting a lob.
McDonald, the kick to McAdoo. Still lots of time. Knocked away by Parker, but it's out of bounds to the Heels.
Well, that deflection happened because he telegraphed it. I mean, I'm a one-eyed guy. I could see where that ball was going. I mean, he telegraphed it. What's that, Marconi, the telegraph guy?
Page to inbound for Carolina. McDonald so big in the first half.
You want the ball in Page's hands. Why? He's the best free throw shooter in the conference, and he doesn't get to the line.
Creates some space.
Oh,
Knocks
yes.
down the jumper.
Get him the rock.
Bryce Johnson fouls out of the game.
He did a good job trying to stay in front of Jabari Parker. Parker is just so good with the ball. And when Johnson came down with that right arm to block the shot, there was some contact.
You're right, Jay. He does a great job sealing off the defense, Parker. He uses his body exceptionally well on the drives to the goal.
Yeah, that was awfully close, but you want to try to keep just play vertical and make Parker finish over you.
Please don't use words like vertical, okay? That's out of my language, all right? I don't understand what you're talking about. So you want the Duke. I couldn't even spell Duke to get it. Vertical.
Now look at this substitution, guys. Johnson goes out, and Roy Williams will put Nate Britt into the game. So a much smaller lineup. As a 6'9" forward center goes out, and a 6'1" guard or 5'11" guard comes in for Carolina.
Well, he's going for an extra ball handler to get on the floor as well. And plus, Britt's had some experience, played a lot earlier in the year.
Well, when you're smaller, you have to be disruptive defensively. So North Carolina will probably try to go man and put a little bit more pressure on.
You can see Parker has struggled at the line tonight. He's got 2 coming to him here.
How big, we talk about it so often, right there, that charity strike.
What this lineup will probably also do, if it stays this way for Carolina, is Tokoto is really the 4-man right now. But Duke is kind of small as well, with Parker at the 5, Hood at the 4. So both teams have gone with smaller lineups.
Well, the matchups are fine for North Carolina here. I think Marcus Page is being guarded by Rasheed Suleiman. A little more size on him, a little more length.
They want the ball in his hands because he's the guy that can make free throws. The best. He is the best in the ACC, Page. Get him the ball.
Hood on him. If McAdoo sets a screen, that's...
He'll release the basket.
Just going to go one-on-one.
Page scoops it up and in.
What a terrific second half player. All year long, he's made big plays in the second half. That was a big-time drive. He took Hood one-on-one right to the goal. He's a great player, that kid, Jay.
Knocks it away from Cook, who got it back. Duke scrambling. Just over a minute to go. They're down by 4. Suleiman, a deep one. Tokoto down to the rebound.
Put him on the free throw line. Put him on the free throw line. Too slow, man.
They got a foul.
And now they finally will, but about 10 extra seconds came off the clock before they got to Tokoto.
They had a chance to follow the line earlier. Look at Roy Williams. He is so fired up. Good bit of officiating, too. Could have hit him with a tee earlier. Glad they did it.
And Marcus Page took Rodney Hood one-on-one and made an extraordinary individual move. The little crossover got his shoulders just past Hood, who's an excellent defender. That was just a great offensive player going against an outstanding defender, and helped side really late getting there, and he got all the way to the rim. What a great play by Marcus Page.
Fantastic. He did a great job sealing the defense off. He cut him right off. A terrific second half player.
They ought to just tell him, look, it's halftime before the game.
Yeah, right. It's unbelievable. He's done that 10 times. This is the 11th time where he's had less than 4 points in the half and put big points on in the second half.
Without question, one of the most improved players in the country from last year to this year, trying to lead Carolina to its 5th win over a ranked team this season. Got more college basketball coming your way Saturday night, 7 Eastern. Cameron Indoor Stadium. Duke hosting Syracuse in a rematch of one of the best games, maybe the best game of the college basketball season. And Arizona and Colorado coming your way 9 Eastern. Saturday primetime presented by DirecTV.
I'll tell you one thing, we're going to have a lot of fun down there at Cameron Indoor. What have they won in a row now? I think 30 in a row? 30 in a row. Florida's got 31 down there with the Rowdy Reptiles.
Well, Nate Britt headed to the free throw line. He shoots about 74% from the line. And these are some big free throws for the left-handed freshman.
Those are 2 guys though that do make free throws. They go Page and Britt. And he hasn't been there all night. Been on the bench quite a while.
Double bonus, 2 free throws.
Look pretty good right there. Stroke that baby. Good rotation, good backspin. Oh, they're excited. Look at Mr. Meeks. They're excited. They're going for their 8th in a row.
You have to expect Carolina to pick up full court here just to slow the advance.
They've done a great job, Jerry, containing Duke's 3-point shot. Duke's been averaging close to 10 a game, and they've 4 so far.
Cook with a beautiful reverse to make it a 4-point game.
He has played tremendous tonight.
And Mike Krzyzewski will use his last timeout.
You know, one of the things that North Carolina does in this situation is you see Quinn Cook, who's had really a terrific game. Duke wanted to get the ball to the rim as quickly as they could, extend the game, and get a quick score, because you never know. You might get a foul in that situation as well. But sometimes Roy Williams will look to go long in this situation. He's never afraid to do that.
Well, we talked about it. Dick, you mentioned it. Marcus Page has been a great second-half player all night long.
Yeah, he really has made one great play after another here in the second half. Going to watch right here. Nice little pass for the open shot. I'm going to watch the drive. Tremendous move to the goal.
His hesitation moves are so good. He sets up his moves so well. And that was a really good cut by Leslie McDonald on that first sequence.
Nice little jump shot right there. And here's the big drive. What a terrific drive cutting off the defense. You know, Jay, we saw a glimpse of that greatness the second half of the year last year. He came on strong. He struggled earlier. Came from Iowa. Iowa's been very good to Roy Williams. Harrison Barnes.
After we're done here tonight, Sports Center comes your way here on ESPN. Full post-game coverage from here at the Dean Dome. LeBron making an MVP statement in the Heat's game against the Thunder, and Canada takes gold from the United States in Olympic women's hockey.
I see a little joy in your voice as you echoed that.
We got a big game coming tomorrow, Dick. Got another big one tomorrow.
Yeah, well, we're going to make up for it tomorrow. We're going to make up. Hey, LeBron, they better not be giving that trophy to Durant just yet.
Carolina ball, Duke pressure. Meeks in to throw the inbounds pass. Off to Britt. Ahead to McAdoo, but a foul.
Oh, Roy's upset. Yeah. He wanted to lay up.
They had a dunk, and instead they'll get free throws.
Look at Roy on that sideline. Oh.
He's got a fair point there. Once a player's released the ball and you get that kind of contact, you know, that I'm not a big fan of that call. I'm not saying there wasn't contact, it wasn't a foul, but you know, they've got a layup here.
Yeah. Taking a layup away from him. And Roy told us before the game, his toughest season as a coach, with all the problems that have happened out of the academic scandal, a Hairston situation. He said, no doubt, it's been a tough year. Some of my happiest moments in practice with these kids.
At least 40 seconds away from another happy moment if North Carolina can knock their free throws down.
What did he win his 300 the game you had on Monday?
He did.
He's the quickest to 300 in the ACC, ahead of his mentor, Dean Smith, and Mike Krzyzewski. Quickest to get 300.
1-3-1.
Yep. It makes him take some time off the clock, that 1-3-1.
Held ball, Carolina ball.
Oh, I'll tell you one thing, they're ready to celebrate down on Franklin Street.
Well, it's still, with North Carolina having the air, there's still 30 seconds.
A lot of time.
And with the way North Carolina shoots free throws, Well, this is still a game very much. There is the long pass.
Oh, layup. Great execution. Normally you just want to take time off the clock, but a simple layup.
Parker with a rebound and a finish. Long home run pass to Page. And Suleiman will foul him and put an 89% free throw shooter on the line.
He's the #1 guy in the ACC. It's amazing. Could you imagine what their numbers would be without him on the free throw line? They shoot 62% as a team, and he shoots 89%.
Well, this has been a very gutty performance by North Carolina.
Absolutely.
Down 7 at halftime. And for them to stick with it defensively during that drought that they had when it was 53-49, which seemed like 4 hours. And they kept guarding.
You know what amazes me? Like they've been able to win 8 games in a row. When you prepare for the game and you're on the plane coming over, you look at the stat sheet and you see what they shoot from the free throw line. You see what they shoot from the field, from the three-point line. You say, how do they do it? And it's all the intangibles you talked about, offensive rebounding, defense.
To their credit, they have made 10 consecutive free throws right now. Cook all the way. Can't finish. McAdoo.
It's academic, my friends. It's celebration time. It's celebration time. Blue Heaven rock and roll time. Surprised they are rushing the court, Mr. Billis. This is North Carolina. This is North Carolina. One of the elite programs in America.
The Tar Heels go to 5-1 this season against ranked opposition. They themselves not ranked. One spot outside the rankings in terms of votes coming into this week. But Jay, the way they're going right now, they can take care of business against Wake Forest on Saturday. They're going to have a number alongside them next week.
Well, talk about a team, Dan, that has fought back. It looked like this season could go south on North Carolina. There was talk about will the Tar Heels make the NCAA tournament, and they have completely turned it around.
They were 1-4. They were 1-4 in the ACC. And I remember we did a commentary about that. We said, hey, don't count them out. They're just too talented.
They have won 8 in a row in the league. They are 9-4 right now in the ACC. Setting up a dramatic rematch on the last Saturday of the regular season. We'll have that game for you, part of the game day package from Cameron Indoor Stadium on the 8th of March. North Carolina 74, Duke 66, Gonzaga, BYU coming your way on ESPN2. SportsCenter here on ESPN, and they're going to bring it right back to us for